Oh my, well, Trump is over in Europe and he had this press conference with Starmer. Oh, Lord have mercy. So let's just go ahead and we'll pull cards and see what it can tell us about his press conference with Starmer. Underneath of it all, we've got the card of Temperance first coming out. The energetic thing is a new cup. What's going on now is about the sharing. The challenge is what's being handed out. Potential outcome, we've got about the Republicans' wealth, and the outside influence is something rapidly developing. When it comes to temperance, what does it say about temperance? The long term. Looking at long-term happenings, concrete happenings, when it comes to his abusive nature, okay? The control. They want to try to temper things with him when it comes to the long term and what he's putting out, because he's just absolutely vile when he goes there. So let's look into this new cup. The energy coming into it is about the truth. Okay, the fight for truth and control. Okay, so they're looking at this. They want, of course, the absolute truth for the long term and looking at control when it comes to dealing with this plague we've got here as a president. So what's being shared, let's see how it's happening today. His insanity, okay? His off-the-wall, barking mad, things he's trying to hold on to. Now, in the midst of this press conference, it appears, that Starmer had to shut him down because he was just going off on this attack and insanity. So the challenge is about, again, what's being handed out. Let's see what it has to say about that. What's being worked on. And a loss. Facing some sort of a loss. The outcome when it comes to Republicans, conservatives, things being juggled. Things being juggled when it comes to, taking control and being leadership. Now, a lot of this stuff, we had 4 of the ones together, what's being handed out, the conservatives, what's being worked on, money being juggled, etc. And losses being faced. So let's see what's the outside influence. Rapidly, the message, a concrete message being put out. Rapid messages, trying to figure out the next way forward and the evidence in hand. Okay. The reality of it in hand. So it's about just, trying to deal with Trump. They've got the evidence. They know what's going on. And they're going to try to put out some kind of a message when it comes to, it looks like more monetary type things, etc. So look at the 4 corners, tempering the conservative type things, this crazy conservative, not really conservative, but, Magatonian type of mentality when it comes to this type of leadership, what's being projected, that's trying to control. Okay, so it's this attempted to control, abuse of power, hanging on, feeling a loss when it comes to his leadership, the long-term fight for real truth, looking at the insanity and working on trying to juggle and balance things as much as possible. Tempering when it comes to this new cup, things being shared, what's being handed out when it comes to dealing with these types of ultra-right mentality. And again, it's about the things that they're holding on to concretely that they're trying to deal with all of this. In the center of it, we have his insanity. And they're trying to work on something honestly to get it done. Sharing, trying to hold on. This new cup, we're facing these losses and his insane attempts to control what's being handed out. So when it comes to the fight for truth, they're looking at the long-term insanity that he's doing, this new cup on the horizon of his attempting to control, trying to temper some of this stuff, that they're hanging on to, and sharing in the midst of his abusive nature. So it's about what's being worked on, trying to balance his insanity and the losses that he's trying to hand out. Again, just trying to get through dealing with him in any way, shape, or form, and hanging on, clinging to this uber-right agenda drama. They're just trying to get through it with this guy. So let's go ahead and put these in here, and we'll look and see a clarifying read, see what it's going to say about this. But he is going off on all sorts of stuff, attacking this, attacking that, whining about this, whining about that. Just, I can't imagine being a world leader trying to talk any kind of sense with this guy. Let's face it, he's delusional, and you're sitting there trying to have a organic conversation with him, and he's in the ozones. So let's see. At the center of it all, we have, his nonsense he's handing out, the messages he's putting out there, his fishtails. When it comes to what's being birthed in America, what's coming, okay, and his dark agenda, okay. So just trying to deal with him and the stuff that he's doing. When it comes to America, the things are up in the air. When it comes to his dark drama, facing losses, his fishtails, the wheel is turning on it, okay. With America, things up in the air, we're battling through this. When it comes to his dark drama, facing losses, that's becoming strengthened. With his fishtails, the wheel is turning on what's being handed out. Okay. So one side of it, we have his abusive nature, attempting to control, and that's ended. Okay. People are just not buying into his crap anymore. So things are being juggled when it comes to dealing with him. And underneath of it all, this is about that, the uber right type of things that are going on. And they know that basically he's pushed to the edge. Message about action, he's out in the cold. So they're just not buying into any of his crap. It's kind of like, feeling like the crazy uncle that comes to dinner and you're just trying to navigate and get through the dinner as best you can because he's stonewall crazy. So that's what I'm getting with this. This is ending his abuse of power. Talk to the hand, trying to juggle his insanity, his, thinking that he's the big dictator. Okay? And We're battling through his lies and the losses that are coming. Again, strength. We're looking at the stuff that's still all up in the air, what he's handing out, but the wheel is turning when it comes to his abusive, dark drama. You know, the Epstein files, it's going to take him down. He's on his way out. And we just have to, navigate and deal with this, blowhard until he's out. But his time is coming, and he can sit there and, puff himself up and act like he's a world leader, and they all know what's going on, that he's a con artist, a pedophile. And it's just getting through this time and just, I guess in a way humor him. And, because he's the President of the United States, I kind of have to meet with him. But it's like talk to the hand. It's so on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.